Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Hey, today I'm just taking a quick minute talking about getting out on that trap line and reconning some of your major terrain features that's going to be required to have your wildlife thrive. Those features that you're going to have, we're going to be talking about, water, food, cover, and then they're going to need space. And every particular animal is going to be a little bit different in what those requirements actually are. So driving around in the training areas today, we're checking out a lot of these little streams. There's a bunch here, in the upper state of New York. A lot of these really, just small streams. And what we're doing is I'm coming down here and I'm actually looking for sign. I'm going to take y'all a little bit later to some places that look ideal, but there's no sign. There's nothing there that says, hey, this is where the animals actually are. And last scene is a prime example of setting out on what seemed to be a good location, but not trapping on sign and not being able to produce anything out on that line. This stream is going to be a little bit different, and I'm fixing to show you here why I'm talking it. So we have, and this is going to be a prime area for your minks and your weasels. We got tall grass. We definitely have a small stream. There's crayfish in here, and you're going to be able to see some of these trails that the animals have kind of cut through. I really haven't seen any raccoon tracks, but it's kind of hard to navigate around this particular area. So I'm going to be able to go back a little bit further in this creek bank and see if I can find any raccoon sign. But as far as weasels and your mink go, the signs are here. So give me a minute, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take this camera off and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Again, this area, it's a prime area. And when I say that, I mean, when we're talking minks and weasel, they like to be able to come through here and navigate these undercut banks. You have a lot of these down trees. They're kind of hard to see. These trees have actually been down for quite some time. You'll see all these undercut banks. They have trees. There's quite a bit here that's offering food source. It's offering cover. You get back and there's all these windy cuts that come through here, and in the very back on the side of this road you actually have your tunnel that's gonna kick back to the other side of that road. But the most important thing when we're talking about getting out here is actually looking, see if I can actually get a good shot of this, is actually looking at these prints on the ground. And this is telling us, hey, there is animals out here. They are walking this bank. So this is going to be a prime location where I'm going to be setting these mink boxes and some of these weasel boxes as well. So don't take for granted, it might be a small stream, and I tell you what, it's really hard to get down here. But what that does for me as far as an advantage is, I know that not every hunter or trapper is going to take advantage of this opportunity because of how complicated it is to get down here. These banks are extremely steep, but I'm only maybe 50 meters off the side of the road. So this again is a prime example, and if you look on this creek bank, it's a very extreme bank, but there's huge dens up here, huge holes. And if I was to actually take a little stroll through here, if I can do it without dropping this camera in the water, which I'm fixing to do, you can see it. This is back up a little bit. You can see these trails that are carved through here, and that we're talking animal sign. And all the way down this bed, there's down timbers, allowing these animals to cross from one side to the other, with minimal resistance. So again, take the time to get out prior to the season, get out here and check out some of these features that your local terrain has to offer. Because these things will produce. But something I have learned the hard way, sorry about this camera being all shaky, something I have learned the hard way watching other people trap, is you're going to have to come out here and you're going to have to trap on sign. That's the only way that you are guaranteed to make connections, in your steel out of line, is knowing that there are signs out here, knowing there are animals. And we just had a rain a couple days ago, so that's telling me that these tracks are here, they're fresh. They are here, they are here now. So get out there, stay out on the line all the time with me. I'll be back to y'all shortly. I'm out here in a different location. I am only about 5 miles from from that creek that I was in, and I just wanted you to take note of how much the terrain has changed. You know, we went from having, you know, a heavily pine wooded area, and we're in a very open plain right now. I stopped here because I came across some very distinctive tracks. I just kind of want to show you like how much coming out here and just, you know, driving through the training areas really pays off. So I'm gonna grab this camera for a second and I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. Because as I'm coming over here, just driving down this dirt road, you know, I come across see if we can get this or not. These tracks that are just cruising down the road, and some of these tracks are pretty small, so I think people have, you know, trouble identifying, you know, the difference. See if I can get this real quick. I don't know if you can really see this or not. The difference between, you know, bobcat tracks versus coyote tracks, other than the size. And what's going to really give it away is coyotes are typically going to have this triangle pad in the back, versus your bobcats are going to have two lobes on the back. And your bobcats typically don't have these claw marks either. So it's something to take into consideration, you know, when you're out here looking, you know, on your line. So again, we're going to be going through some different areas. I'm going to be showing y'all just how much it's going to pay off, because soon, you know, the trapping season is going to start. Soon the season is going to pick up and it's going to start, and I'm going to be coming back to these exact same places, and you're going to see how much it produces, like how much it pays off to really just get out here and just take a peek at what's going on prior to the season. Because, you know, trapping season usually picks up about the same time that hunting season does, so it's really hard to pick up on those signs when you have a lot of traffic in here. So, you know, stay with me. Again, we're going to be checking out some different areas as far as how much terrain features can change just going, you know, a couple miles down the road. I only have one water source out here, and it's actually behind the camera in this pine line. I'll actually show you a little bit because I didn't really show you this area. I got the sun kind of in the back side of this camera, but I have this huge tree line that comes in the back, and I have a road that forks right here, and I am consistently seeing tracks up and down this road. I have tracks as far as coyotes, and actually right over here behind my Jeep, there's turkey tracks everywhere. Now, I trapped out here last season, and if you want to, feel free to comment and help me out. There was no doubt that there was coyotes out here, as well as bobcats. And these bugs are horrible. I could not get anything to come to these traps, and I don't know if it was, you know, me not being able to control the scent well enough, or not getting the traps to bed. But I tried everything from, you know, scent posts to step downs. I even did a couple dirt holes, put some feathers. I mean, I tried everything in the book, and I tried to space my traps out as far as possible. So, you know, this year I have a little bit more experience, watching a little bit more channels, a couple more YouTube videos, trying to put that education, you know, in my tool bag that I can take out here. So again, you are gonna see this trap line, you know, on my upcoming episodes, and we're gonna see exactly how much I can put into this trap line. Sorry for being all fidgety. These bugs are real thick out here right now. So continue to stay with me. I have a couple more spots I'm gonna take y'all to. We're gonna go again from that creek bed. We have this sandy based area right here. We're gonna go, I would say, probably another 10 miles down the street, and we're gonna be trapping in some dense forest. And then I'm also gonna hit some of the commercial areas, you know, behind some of these shopping centers, some of these, you know, big superstores like Walmart and things like that, and getting permission from these landowners and showing you, you know, don't disregard what's directly outside of your house. And then there's also going to be a golf course. I had a lot of success last year on a golf course. I think I took probably 12 fox before I decided to pull my sets and call it quits. So I want to take you all to a lot of these different locations and show you all, you know, you don't have to stick in just one area, especially for you urban trappers. You know, if you're not out, you know, in a big, vast amount of land where you can trap all these farmlands, you know, if you're kind of in the city, you can still take advantage of a lot of stuff that's going to be right there. The other thing is I don't live on a bunch of land. You know, I am in a very suburbanized community. So there's a lot of things that I have to do differently than, say, some of these other people who have, you know, 2 or 3 acres to themselves, where, you know, they're skinning, you know, animals in their garage with the doors wide open. Thing like that, I can't do. You know, I have to be respectful of my neighbors, because they are, you know, we are, you know, side by side when we're talking about our houses. So stay with me. I'm going to take y'all to a couple more spots, and we'll just pick up from there.